Well, first of all, I want to thank all of you for being here today. I know that in the past I gave State of the University addresses, and then we decided to move to the constituent groups, which we will continue to do. I want to assure you of that. But we had such a banner year this year that I really felt it was important to have a State of the University address. And we have quite a few folks here. We have folks from the foundation who are with us. We have students, faculty, staff. We have some city council folks, Jim Richardson from the Arts Center. So I appreciate your interest in and commitment to Colorado State University Pueblo. And I probably will miss some of the wonderful things that were done this year, but I do want to try to highlight just the successes that we've had this past year. So with that, I'd first like to start out with the number of academic achievements we've had. First and foremost, of course, we have now established the Institute of Cannabis Research. And to my right, you will see several different logos that the steering committee and other committees have been working on under the guidance of Provost Rick Kreminski. And hopefully after the presentation, you can take a look at those. My understanding is that Rick is holding some kind of prize drawing for whichever one comes out in terms of being number one. Is that right, Rick? There he is.
I didn't know about the prize part of that.
It's coming out of his paycheck.
Yeah.
But we are having people stop at the provost office to vote.
So if you're interested in voting for one of these logos, and they do make you rank them, please be sure to go by the provost office so you can have a say in what is going to be represented for our institution and the Research Institute. And just as a little background, we did receive an appropriation of $900,000 from the state in marijuana taxes for the Institute itself. We established a partnership with Pueblo County for marijuana excise tax scholarships for incoming CSU Pueblo students from Pueblo County. We entered into a memorandum of understanding with Pueblo County for $270,000 in excise tax for research studies, which we hope to renew year after year. CSU Pueblo is coming to the fore in a way that it hasn't in the past, although it has been extremely successful in the areas of teaching, research, and all kinds of community and partner relationships. But we will be working with the governor's office, other universities, and NIDA, the National Institute on Drug Abuse, in the following areas, in particular with NIDA. We will be looking at all kinds of areas of research, impact studies, medicinal marijuana studies, but in particular with NIDA, some of the areas that we are exploring are the burden of the Schedule I registration process, research issues associated with discrepancy between federal and state laws, the scheduling of cannabinoids that lack abuse potential. So we are working with major organizations. We are on the national scene. And I'd like to thank faculty and staff and Rick Kreminski, all of whom have worked so hard to establish this institute. I'd like to give thanks to our delegation who helped us and to the legislature. And I'd also like to thank Rich Schweigert because he brought me up every other week to the legislature, gave me entree, and we wouldn't have been able to do this without him. In terms of online programming, I'd like to thank Professors Mike Minsick and Daniel Trujillo, who launched CSU Pueblo's first online degree program in construction management. And believe me, that took a lot of work behind the scenes. Things that look so easy, as you'll see soon with the video from Professor Donna Souter, things aren't as easy as they always appear. So we initially started the online program with CSU Global, and then finally we moved CSU Pueblo online entirely to our campus. And we had support from extended studies, which online we'll go through, admissions, registrar, and financial aid, all of these people working tirelessly throughout this past year. And we have a great video commercial of Mike Minsick talking about CSU Pueblo online, so we probably need to get that up on the website. Extended Studies is also collaborating with several departments to develop certificate programs in conjunction with the Department of Corrections. These areas will focus on health, music industry, computer applications, and entrepreneurship. We also created this year a Center for Security Studies. Now, that center existed long before the title came along, but in discussions with faculty and staff, we decided that it would be good to bring these programs under the rubric of the Center for Security Studies. And of course, we have a Homeland Security Certificate, Cybersecurity Certificate. We're partnering with Puebloplex. We are partnering with TTCI, and we were recently given the NSA designation as a Center of Excellence in Cyber Defense Education. And I'd like to thank Roberto Mejas, Jonathan Poritz, Bruce Raymond, Chris Milligan, Steve Leibel, and Joe Franta. If you look at the website, you'll see a picture of us there with a very nice plaque that identifies that particular designation. We also are working to partner with two Taiwanese universities, Donghai University and National Central University, for students who are interested in enrolling in cyber defense studies and homeland security. And in fact, I'm going to take a sip of water here. When Rick and I went on our great adventure last May, and we visited with two universities, we did sign a letter of good faith, and I'd like to read that to you because it really shows the commitment that these two universities have in working with CSU Pueblo and their interest in what we have to offer. This letter indicates our good faith desire to establish further collaboration between CSU Pueblo, Donghai University, and Janus Industries. By collaborating in this way, we endeavor to enrich both institutions through possible academic programs, faculty research, and/or educational exchange, as well as, but not limited to, professional development opportunities involving not-for-credit programs. These educational opportunities may involve students, faculty, and others from Taiwan coming to Colorado to study at and collaborate with CSU Pueblo students and faculty, and similarly may involve students, faculty, and others from CSU Pueblo going to Taiwan for educational purposes. In addition, we hope to collaborate through an established nonprofit with corporate and government bodies to develop a Sustainable Development Quality and Standards Association for the betterment of Taiwan. Donghai and CSU Pueblo have been engaged in informal conversations with Mr. Matt Sells of Janus Industries and others he has brought together. While all these conversations have been preliminary, many details will need to be fully developed and all necessary approvals sought. So we will be moving forward with our partnership with Donghai and Taiwan. Let's talk a bit about sustainability, facilities, IT, and quality software. So, when he isn't counting dollars, VPFA Carl Speaker and Associate Vice President of Facilities Craig Kaysen have worked with the Governor's Office this year to develop an energy performance contract. The board approved the technical energy audit in May 2016, and financing for the energy performance contract will be presented to the Board of Governors for final approval in October 2016. Carl had experience with this before at the Department of Corrections. We do work through the Governor's Office, and this project is expected to cost approximately $12.5 million. However, the annual energy savings, $500,000 to $1 million, will be used to pay the debt service for this project. And what is actually very exciting about this project is that it will significantly improve the campus's aging infrastructure, which we are all very well aware of. And it will reduce the need for controlled maintenance projects. As an example, the replacement of 18 boilers, which are about ready to boil over, at an estimated cost of over $1 million. So our infrastructure will receive the attention that it has needed for a very long time. Facilities, just to mention a few, a new soccer lacrosse field opened privately and funded facility with $3.2 million in donations. It's a beautiful facility. Many of you were there for the opening. The general classroom building, which is state-of-the-art. It is 45,000 square feet, state-of-the-art academic building funded with a $16.8 million state appropriation. And I think you all know that that was on the books for a while. And again, we can thank Senator Angela Jaron for her activity in this and her ability to work with us to make that building become a reality. The Oceana University Center, which we are sitting in, and we are hopeful in a year and a half that this will be very bright and there will be light streaming in and it'll be a very different environment. So we're excited about the fact that we commenced construction on a $32 million renovation of the Student Center, and I am so happy for our students who truly deserve a wonderful place to be. And something I think you might not know about, but is still a fairly big deal, campus road expansion. We were awarded another $1 million in state funds to expand the road on the north side of the campus, which would be where? Very good. Stars for those people. Okay. On the north side of the campus, which will improve public safety. In other words, it allows fire trucks and other public safety vehicles improved access to the campus, which I'm sure we all want. Information technology. And again, I have to say to the folks out there, particularly who work in IT, you've had less than stellar infrastructure and support. So we really went to the mat in going to the legislature. And in total, CSU Pueblo has received nearly $3.7 million for upgrades. Of this, 1.8 was received in 2015, and 1.8 was appropriated during the 2016 legislative session. And I do believe we may be making another ask. In 2015, only 2 higher education institutions received funds for this purpose. CSU Pueblo received nearly 70% of the $2.7 million appropriated for higher education information technology projects. In 2016, we were one of only 2 four-year institutions to receive these funds, and we received over 27% of the $6 million. So I can't thank enough, again, VPFA, Carl Speaker, Craig Kaysen, and the IT staff who spent many hours going up to testify before the legislature to receive almost $4 million in funds. And we are in the process of upgrading the system as we speak. Let's talk a little bit about our primary mission here, a Hispanic serving institution. As you all know, we are an HSI, and I believe that we're an HSI that differentiates ourselves from others in a variety of really profound ways. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. First of all, I'd like you to know that we've increased undergraduate Hispanic student FTE from 32% in fall 2014 to 33% in fall 2015 through various recruitment strategies. In 2011, the FTE was 26%, and this fall we have hit 34%. So, thank you. It is the heart of our mission, and we're making great progress. And actually, in terms of becoming a minority serving institution, we're at approximately 48%, and Rick will correct me if I'm wrong, but we're on the verge of becoming an MSI as well as an HSI. We had the wonderful opportunity this past year to partner with El Pueblo History Museum to bring the exhibit El Movimiento, the Chicano movement in Colorado, to Pueblo. It was obviously an exhibit up north, and my understanding is that this is the first time that an exhibit from a museum up north was brought down to Pueblo. And if you were not there at the opening, there were over 1,000 people there. We had presentations, all kinds of activities, cultural activities, and it really was heartwarming to see the relationship that we as the university have with El Pueblo History Museum. Professor Fawn Amber and others have worked closely with Director Dawn DePrince to incorporate much of what is at the museum into our curriculum, and we will continue that partnership moving forward. We established an MOU with the Smithsonian Institute, and this is another proud moment for me through the work of our faculty and staff. This opportunity came to us through Haku, and what it is an opportunity to offer annual student internships in Washington, D.C. And in fact, we had 5 students go to D.C. this summer and work in various galleries that represent the Smithsonian Institute. And in fact, I talked with those students. What an experience. I can't imagine how exciting that must have been. And these students were from across the campus, and Jonathan Rees, Fawn Amber, Michelle Jardy, and Trish Macias were very integral in developing these internships. We were also awarded a $10,000 Generation Leadership in Climate Change Awareness Award. That's a mouthful. Also from Haku. So our relationship with Haku is a very important one, and we will continue with that relationship because it offers so many opportunities for us to offer programs that our students otherwise would not have access to. And again, this year we will be sending students and faculty to Haku. While this isn't something new this year, it is in full swing, and Professor Ted Taylor, who garnered a U.S. Department of Education Title III grant, entitled Merit, with the purpose of strengthening the language and achievement of English learners, integrated, inclusive K through 12 settings in Southern Colorado. So he's been working extremely hard. It's a project that means a lot to Southern Colorado, and this project is also partnering with other states across the country. And now I'd like to take a moment, and we will be seeing a video here, so we'll probably have to dim the lights a little bit. But I'd like to tell you about an award that Professor Donna Souter received. It's a U.S. Department of Education Title V grant for the total amount of $2.6 million. It's for the Center for Teaching and Learning. It's entitled Maestro, and it's effective October 1, 2015, so they've been working on it for the past year. And we actually have some Maestro students here who were in a bridge program. Would you all stand? Sure. We had a committed team of faculty and staff. In fact, Dr. Derek Lopez served as coordinator of advising with this group of students in this year's summer program. And it's to his credit and others that these students, I think all 41 were retained. And it just goes to show you what we need in terms of resources and commitment. What we could do if we had a few more resources to keep students like these here with us. And I'd like to share the video that Donna put together with faculty, staff, and students, and her husband, Dustin Hodge, was kind enough to produce this video for us pro bono, and we can't thank them enough. So.
In the summer of 2016, Colorado State University Pueblo's Center for Teaching and Learning developed a new grant-funded summer program. The challenge was straightforward, yet anything but simple: increase freshman retention rates and create new opportunities for on-time graduation. Our mission was to design a new intervention, something that was different and collaborative for students and faculty alike. We asked tenured faculty to commit their summers and to lend their emotional support to at-risk students. Students who represent underserved minorities, our first-generation college students, or who needed 4 or more courses of remediation. In the end, we accepted 41 students. The Maestro Summer Program was born. From the beginning, our approach was new. We adopted a one-room schoolhouse model for instruction. Everyone would learn every subject together. We asked students to study history, math, and writing all at once. And we asked faculty to teach, collaborate, and share interactive, experiential curriculum at the same time. Our hope was that, when it was all said and done, we would have 41 students who were more prepared for the rigors of college life than their traditional peers. But we also believe that having 3 tenured college professors driving the curriculum together and engaging with students and their diverse and personal needs at every level together, that this might have the biggest impact on student learning. Of course, we partnered these academic experts with longtime, well-trained general education instructors, experts in remediation. We hired 4 TAs. We embedded ongoing office support and first-year advising in all that we did, and we established a dynamic partnership with CSU Pueblo's Outdoor Pursuits program, all in hopes of physically and emotionally grounding students in the rich history of Southern Colorado and in the real work of academia, critical thinking. We didn't just study the history and diversity of Native American life in Southern Colorado. We took students to the One Nation powwow to see its influence on modern life for themselves. We didn't just read about the events leading up to and surrounding the Ludlow Massacre. We took students to the site. We showed them what remained of the places they had read about. And then we created real-world opportunities for mathematical explorations right there in the great outdoors. Each day we journaled, we researched, we wrote about it all. We asked students to think about who they were and where they were going, even as we walked alongside them.
Today we embark on another journey that some have done a million times, others none. I'm excited yet nervous, anxious yet calm, and I can't wait to finish the program.
I'm a 19-year-old girl attending school to have a better chance at life.
I'm here because I want to make myself better. I want to become more socially active and to submerge myself in other people's ideas and learn from them.
The reason why I started the Maestro program was because as the first in my family to graduate high school and further my education, I want to thrive for excellence.
We have to figure out a lot of things for ourselves, like financial aid. It's a very
difficult process.
Yeah,
you don't have
process.
help with your family, it's like you have to Google everything, or you have to really advocate for yourself.
It turns out that we all wanted the same thing. We wanted to give our students the tools and the college credits they so desperately needed in order to succeed in the fall semester. The students earned our respect, they built new relationships, and they earned as many as 12 college credits in 30 days. It was, no doubt, academic boot camp, an on-campus live-in experience, 6 days a week, more than 10 hours a day for all of us, with writing, tutoring, and research filling in the hours of day 7. A team of more than 15 committed faculty and staff members worked together to empower these students to become the best versions of themselves, to become academic leaders at CSU Pueblo, to make friends, and to involve themselves in the life of our vibrant campus. We think we succeeded. The students do too.
People are there to help you, and this university works for you. So just taking the time and putting an effort to go get what you want will really help you in the end.
Yeah, you can't be afraid to be vocal and go after what you want, because like you guys were telling us, all our professors were telling us, you have to speak up and let people know so that they can help you.
Summer program has helped me become a better student in person as a whole. This program has helped me learn how to manage my time by being prompt and doing all my work as soon as I can.
I'm here because someone believed in me. Someone took the time to recognize the potential I have, even if I didn't. I understood the program to be beneficial and prepped me for college level, but it's done so much more. We've only been here for 1 month, and I've developed a better understanding of who I am. My name is Demetrius, I'm a 17-year-old scholar, and I'm ready to attack the course load at CSU Pueblo.
I'm Dr. Donna Souter, this is CSU Pueblo, and these are your CSU Pueblo Maestro Thunderwolves.
I'm a CSU Pueblo Thunderwolf.
Well, thank you, Donna, and thank you, Derek, and all of the faculty and staff who contributed to this. It's a heartwarming video. It will go up on our website, and it will be shown at City Council, because I do believe Steve Naraki's sitting in here right now. And students, kudos to you, because you're the ones who are doing the work, and we thank you so much, and we're proud that you're Thunderwolves. So let's talk now about fundraising. It's been a big year for the foundation for CSU Pueblo. $28.5 million was raised over the past 3 years, and we made that announcement on August 31st, 2016, and I do believe Russell DeSalvo and Todd Kelly are in the room, and if you'd stand for a moment, please, and any other foundation board members. Okay. We want to give you our heartfelt thank yous. We couldn't have done this without you. In fact, I was told that the amount of private funds raised was the largest in the history of CSU Pueblo and the largest dollar amount raised by a nonprofit organization in the community of Pueblo. So that shows you how your community loves this institution, the faculty, staff, and students, and we can't thank you enough. There were approximately $7 million in gifts for student scholarships, $3 million gift over time from Lois Mathis for our education program, $1.2 million gift just recently signed from the Parkview Medical Center and Foundation for our nursing program, $300,000 from the President's Fund for academic programs, including forensics and debate, which we'll host nationally here, thanks to Catherine Starkey. Oral history interviews with local Chicano and Chicana activists who founded the Pueblo alternative newspaper La Cucaracha, the Smithsonian Institute internships, CSU Pueblo Today, neuroscience research in Professor Jeff Smith's lab, and more. So again, thank you for participating in the campaign, and we will launch another campaign in approximately a year that focuses only on academic programming and student needs. So again, we thank the foundation for everything that they have done for us and continue to do for us. So let's talk a little bit about our strategic plan and our targets. And I really have to thank the strategic planning implementation team. They meet regularly, and I know because they invite me regularly to come and listen to what they have to say, and they have done a brilliant job. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about how we are meeting our targets. So let's begin with the ever popular, and Anthony, you probably want to be writing all this down, CSU Pueblo's fall enrollment. Okay, our figures are promising. We have 835 new freshmen enrolled, which is an increase of 5.4% over last year. And you all know, because we've tried to teach you, that freshman class is so very important, and we have to continue to see it increase. The freshman enrollment figures include an increase of 44 non-resident students, as well as including students from 30 states and 12 countries. We projected, because we've learned to be conservative, a 4.7% decline in enrollment based on national trends for regional comprehensives. Well, we far exceeded those projections by coming in flat. Now, flat may not sound very good to you, but believe you me, it's better than being down. And we're going to go up from being flat, and we will continue to see enrollment initiatives, and I want to thank every single one of you in here because it takes all of us to see these increases in enrollment. While other systems throughout the country, and my favorite phrase is just plug into Google, 2017 university budget cuts and enrollment declines, and you'll see what's going on out there. Well, they're cutting millions of dollars from their budgets and watching their enrollments drop precipitously. CSU Pueblo has turned a corner. After fall 2012, when our enrollments dropped due to the implementation of new policies, we came together as a university, faculty, staff, and students, working in every unit to recruit new students and make the on-campus experience a rewarding and exciting one. I congratulate each and every one of you for 4 years of hard, nail-biting, intense work, and without raises, I might add. We said it would take 4 years, and it did. But the point is, we did it. So please give yourself a round of applause. We exceeded the CSU Pueblo 2014 to fall 2015 retention rate target by 1 percentage point, which Rick tells me is very good. So we were at 65%, and it appears that the retention rate for this fall will reach the highest percentage in the history of the university at 66%. We are on our way to moving that number to 70%, and we will be having a new software, Starfish, that will help us continue in the right direction. We met the CSU Pueblo Strategic Plan graduation rate target for the 2009 cohort at 33%. It is hard to move the dial on these numbers, but as long as we're moving forward, that is what counts. We have a wonderful group of students, and I've said that every year since I came here. I've been at 3 other institutions, and our students have a wonderful attitude. They are involved in the university, and let me tell you, that was highlighted even more so by our first Discover Downtown. I think I saw Sarah walk into the room. Sarah's there she is. She won't stand up because she's shy, but she shouldn't be. She was our student body president all last year, and she was the coordinator who took this activity by the reins, and we had a fabulous time with over 500 faculty, students, staff, and families. And I met at least 8 sets of these parents who were from out of state, raved about the Riverwalk. We had restaurant owners and merchants who gave us vouchers. The restaurants were packed. The merchants were all alongside the Riverwalk. Everybody was in a paddle boat. It was an exhilarating night. And Sarah deserves a round of applause for all of her work in that. And then, of course, Antonio Huerta took my breath away when he said at University Leadership Team the other day, Beer Fest, September 9th, which we've known about. And while I've never been a mother, I really have, because being a president or a professor is being a mother. And he announced in University Leadership Team that at the Beer Fest, students could have all they wanted to drink. I thought, all right, we will be there all night long to see just how much these students can drink. Well, first of all, let me tell you that over 1,000 attendees were recorded, and that didn't count staff, it didn't count the students who were running this. It was a wonderful mini state fair. I think you were absolutely right, Antonio, so stand up and take some credit here. And of course, our usual round of friends, Gina, Marie, all there all night. I went earlier, and then I dragged my husband back. I said, no, you're coming with me to the Beer Fest. He actually had a very good time once we got there. And these folks were sitting there all night long, and there were all kinds of activities, and it was more than just a beer fest. So my confidence has been renewed, and we'll look forward to another one next year, Antonio, okay? All righty. And this may be the happiest thing I have to say today, because I have felt for the past 4 years, our faculty and staff deserve raises. And because of the condition of the budget, we were not able to do that. And this still isn't enough, I can assure you. And we will continue to work harder to increase the 1% COLA that we are going to put in the base as of January 2016. That will go for faculty and administrative professionals. And then we are setting aside, again, not a large enough amount, $50,000, and we will start to adjust those salaries that so desperately need adjusting, which we have found through our equity study. So I am hopeful that within the near future, we will see greater dollars, that perhaps the COLA can go to 2% and then 3%, and that all of the equity issues can be addressed. I promise you that. So, the state of our university is a strong one, with a solid foundation and many opportunities ahead, including new degree programs in the areas of agriculture, wildlife, education, social work, security studies, health professions, and more. Gary and Georgia Walker will be loaning us their beautiful 86,000-acre ranch as our laboratory for our upcoming wildlife degree program. That's just one example of the generosity of our donors and where our academic programming is headed. Community members and local agencies have informed us that they would support a school of nursing and health professions. Others have inquired as to our interest in developing a school of criminal justice to conduct research on gangs, victimology, and law enforcement professions. So we continue to be in talks with our community members. The future is a bright one for CSU Pueblo. I have been and am proud to be your president. So with that said, I have an announcement. My husband and I have decided that it is time for me to retire. That retirement will occur June 2017, so you're still stuck with me for another year. But I promise you that I will continue to be your president during that time. Nothing has made me happier or prouder in my life, and I'm glad that I could close my career here at CSU Pueblo with all of you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, the chancellor wasn't able to be here today. In fact, he sent Mike Hooker in his stead. Mike's sitting right over here. He wanted me to assure you that a national search will be conducted. It will start immediately, and he and folks from the system office will be down to talk with you, to have focus groups, and to make certain that you are all involved with the search as closely as possible. And I will do everything I can to move us through this year, accreditation, and through the transition for your new president. And once again, I thank each and every one of you for giving me a wonderful, well, it'll be almost 6 years when the time comes to leave. So thank you, and there's still cupcakes out there. There's always something to look forward to. Thank you.